Cody Bellinger received a qualifying offer from the Cubs, and he quickly turned it down, which is no surprise. I mean, think about the season that he had, and his agent is Scott Boras. The Cubs would have loved to have signed him during the season. You know how that isn't going to work. We're going to talk about qualifying offers, Cody Bellinger. This is the Cubs baseball channel. Here's your qualifying offer to join our channel. Like and subscribe if you enjoy Cubs content. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the bell so you know when we're dropping new content. Thanks for being here, and welcome to the show. He's Chad Anderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. Welcome to the Cubs baseball channel. Chad, you can't blame Cody Bellinger for feeling like he had a great season and that he could make a lot of money with the long-term deal. He did get the qualifying offer from the Cubs. He turned that down. But what a season he had.
Yeah, I mean, Cody, it's everything that everybody could have asked for. Because if you're the Cubs, you take a chance, you gamble on a guy who had an amazing rookie year, won Rookie of the Year, put up great numbers for the Dodgers. And then on Bellinger's side, he's like, hey, okay, I'm going to go over here, take a little bit less, prove myself on a short-term deal so that I can then get the big mega deal down the road. That's exactly what happened. The Cubs are thankful because it literally put them in playoff contention this year in a season in which, Mick, you and I thought probably wasn't going to happen. And then for Cody, of course, he's now going to get a big payday. So when you go back and look at some of his numbers, I mean, he played in 130 games because remember, he was injured for a short stretch there in the middle of the year. But Cody had over 300 batting average, won the Silver Slugger Award, hit 26 home runs for the Cubs, drove in almost 100. His OPS was just shy of 900 for the season, comeback player of the year. Everything right. And so both parties extremely happy with the deal, what happened with the deal over the course of the season. And now, of course, like you said, qualifying offer is rejected. That's not uncommon. But tell everyone a little more about the qualifying offer, how that's going to impact whoever signs Cody.
Yeah, so qualifying offers are given by teams, and no one ever takes them, which is pretty funny. Only 13 have been accepted over the 124 that have been given out in, since 2012, which makes me wonder why to even do it. I mean, because you know that no one's going to take it. I think there were 7 this year, and everyone turned them down, not just with the Cubs, but across baseball, right? Bellinger's would have been a 1-year deal, and then he would have gotten paid over $20 million for 2024. He turned it down, which was obviously his right to do that. And then depending on where he signs, how much money he gets paid, the Cubs will get a competitive balance pick in its place, right? So that means after the first round, you have competitive balance A, competitive balance B. And so you get some pretty good players in those spots, right? Guys that you would figure could help you, but it's not going to replace Cody Bellinger. I mean, but that's a way to keep teams that lose stars from, not getting anything out of it. And to me, it's so curious why even have it set up that way when it's something that, just isn't ever used. If it was like, I don't know, like that's such a small percentage of the guys that get qualifying offers that even consider taking them. Right. So that made me laugh when I saw that, that they even hand those things out. It's a formality. It's a waste of time. And so now the Cubs are kind of out there looking and trying to figure out like what their next move's going to be. And it's a lot of it's going to depend on what happens with Cody Bellinger. Now they're going to be in the mix to try to sign him. And I think you're right when you said that he became a Cub favorite. He won the fan base over. And it's so weird because Ian Happ hasn't won the fan base over. I think people like him, but he's not a fan favorite. Like people don't like where he's batting in the lineup, and you'll have people that'll say, I can't believe he won a Gold Glove. It's almost like he's on the team and people appreciate him, but he's not a fan favorite. Cody Bellinger just won the fan base over, like Sammy Sosa did back in the day, like Mark Grace did. And he did it in 1 year, which really surprised me because I thought, well, this would be a good pick. when he was available. 1 year, $17 million. If he does well, and that's great. And if not, you didn't lose anything by it except, a 1 year deal. And all he did was just outperform that contract.
Yeah, I mean, guys like that, yeah, that you become a fan favorite simply when you produce.
Yeah.
That's it. It's when you meet or exceed expectations. That's when you become a fan favorite. It's really not even about your contract and what you're paid. It's more about, did you meet our expectations at a minimum, and then did you exceed them? And as soon as they're exceeded, you become a fan favorite. And like you said, there's with Ian Happ, there's nobody that doesn't like Ian per se. Like, good guy, pretty good player, but he's not Cody Bellinger. That's why Anthony Rizzo was a fan favorite. That's why, like you mentioned, Sandberg, Grace, Sosa,
Hawk, Andre
yeah,
Dawson.
Andre. Everybody liked Andre. Zambrano. Even though he would be kind of up and down pitching,
Big Z,
he was
yeah.
so erratic, right? Like his personality won it over. A good example there is like Javi Baez. No, Javi had a lot of holes in his game. As great of a player as he was, he had some holes at the plate, but he was just a magician and would pull off these crazy, unbelievable defensive plays. And then when he hit a homer, he hit it 475 feet. He didn't leave any doubt. And those are the things that create, fan favorites and connections and so forth. And Cody definitely did that just in one summer at Wrigley.
I think also Cub fans like guys that play the game really hard, that hustle. You remember, he was hurt trying to make a catch, like he ran out ground balls to the shortstop. I remember a game where he should have been out by a mile and the first baseman dropped it. And JD was on the TV broadcast and he's like, that's what you like about him. He just plays the game really hard. Not only the production, because that's got to be part of it as well, but also just the way that he plays the game. And also the enjoyment that you can tell he's having playing the game. It's infectious.
It is. It really is. You bring up such great points. I mean, that's what it is. It's how you play the game. It's meeting at a minimum and exceeding expectations. Your personality, what the team thinks of you. Also, coming up clutch has a lot to do with it. And a lot of times that's obviously goes hand in hand with exceeding expectations. But when the game's on the line, it's the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, and you're coming up with constant clutch hits or 2-out hits or driving in runs or just getting the bat on the ball. And even if you don't hit a homer, you flick your wrist and get a bloop to left field in his case or something. Those are the at-bats and the way you play and the way you do things on defense. It's just all around. You don't have to hit 50 home runs to be a fan favorite, right? Like, you just got to play the game the right way, hustle, do things correctly, be a good teammate, have a little connection with the city, and he did all of those.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, guys, I want to remind you that our channel right now, look at that shirt right there.
Check that out, man.
Check that out. Is sponsored by the Cubs AA affiliate, Tennessee Smokies, and their team store. So go check them out online, smokiesbaseball.com/store. They've got all the championship gear. And if you didn't know, 45 years it took for the Smokies to win a championship in AA baseball in the Southern League. The last team that won had a rookie by the name of Harold Baines on there, Hall of Famer. Tony La Russa, Hall of Famer, right? So they finally won, and they've got the swag to prove it. And you guys need to go check it out. And don't forget, if you're not part of the Cubs baseball channel, you're getting your qualifying offer right now.